Have you ever wondered what guardian angels look like? Sometimes they appear in the most unexpected forms, like a small, trembling puppy who would change not just one life, but an entire police department forever. On a cold December morning in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, something extraordinary happened at the South Milwaukee Police Department that would touch hearts across the nation and remind us all about the power of hope, destiny, and unconditional love. The story begins at 3 a.m. when Officer James Morgan was finishing up his night shift paperwork. The station was quiet, save for the gentle hum of fluorescent lights and the occasional crackle of the police radio. Like most nights, he expected nothing extraordinary, just the usual reports and the promise of his warm bed waiting at home. But fate had other plans that night, plans that would remind everyone that miracles do happen. Through the glass doors of the station lobby stumbled a tiny golden retriever puppy, no more than 3 months old, soaking wet from the heavy snow outside. His golden fur was matted and dirty, and one of his front paws was clearly injured, causing him to limp. Despite his condition, his eyes held a spark of intelligence and determination that would soon capture the hearts of everyone in the department. Officer Morgan, a 20-year veteran of the force, who had seen everything from brutal crimes to heartwarming rescues, felt something special about this particular visitor. The puppy's entrance was caught on the station's security cameras, showing how he had deliberately pushed through the heavy glass doors, as if he knew exactly where he needed to go for help. The lobby's security footage revealed something even more remarkable. The puppy had been wandering the streets for hours, attempting to enter several other buildings before finding the police station. It was as if some invisible force had guided him to this specific place, at this specific time, where his presence would set in motion a chain of events that would touch countless lives. As Officer Morgan approached the shivering puppy, he noticed something unusual about the little dog's behavior. Instead of cowering in fear, the puppy maintained eye contact, wagging his tail weakly but determinedly. It was almost as if he was trying to communicate something important, something urgent that went beyond his own immediate need for shelter and care. The night dispatch operator, Sarah Chen, who had a soft spot for animals, immediately left her post to help. She brought a warm blanket from the break room and some water. But what happened next left both officers speechless. The puppy refused to settle down, instead pulling at Officer Morgan's uniform pants with gentle but insistent tugs. There was something about the puppy's persistence that struck a chord with Officer Morgan. In his 2 decades of service, he had developed a sixth sense about situations that weren't quite what they seemed. This wasn't just a lost puppy seeking shelter. There was more to this story, much more. The department's security cameras had captured the puppy's journey through the snow, showing him repeatedly looking back the way he had come, as if he was trying to lead someone to follow him. His tracks in the snow formed a deliberate path, not the random wanderings of a lost animal. Sarah noticed something else. Despite his injured paw and exhausted state, the puppy kept looking towards the door, whimpering with an urgency that seemed to transcend his own discomfort. It was behavior that she, as an experienced pet owner, had never seen before. As more officers gathered in the lobby, drawn by the commotion and the unusual visitor, the puppy's behavior became even more intriguing. He would approach each person, make eye contact, and then look back at the door, repeating this pattern with an intelligence that seemed almost human. One of the officers, rookie cop Michael Zhang, recognized something in the puppy's golden fur and distinct markings. They matched the description of a dog from a missing pet poster he had seen earlier that day, but there was something else about the case that nagged at his memory. The missing pet poster had been put up by the Davidson family, who lived on the outskirts of town. But what Officer Zhang remembered now was that the family had also been in the news recently for another reason. A reason that would soon reveal why this puppy's appearance at the police station was far more than just a coincidence. The puppy's arrival at exactly 3:07 a.m. would later prove to be crucial timing, though none of the officers knew it yet. As they were about to discover, this brave little dog hadn't just wandered into their station by chance. He had come with a mission that would challenge everything they thought they knew about the bond between humans and animals. As Officer Zhang shared what he remembered about the Davidson family, the atmosphere in the station shifted dramatically. 8-year-old Emily Davidson, the puppy's owner, had been battling leukemia for the past year. Her parents had bought her the puppy, whom she named Hero, just 3 months ago to help her through her chemotherapy treatments. The timing of Hero's mysterious appearance at the station sent a chill down everyone's spine. The night shift officers quickly pulled up the Davidsons' address in their system, and what they discovered next made their blood run cold. Multiple calls had been made to the family's house throughout the evening, but no one had answered. Given Emily's condition and the unusual circumstances of Hero's appearance, Officer Morgan made the immediate decision to conduct a welfare check. As they prepared to leave, Hero's behavior became even more frantic. The puppy, despite his injury, began barking and circling with renewed energy. When Officer Morgan and Officer Zhang headed for their patrol car, Hero practically threw himself against the station's glass doors, his intention clear. He wanted them to follow him, and he wanted them to do it now. The severity of the situation began to dawn on them as they recalled recent reports of power outages in the Davidsons' neighborhood due to the heavy snowstorm. With Emily's medical condition requiring constant monitoring and specialized equipment, a power failure could be catastrophic. The puppy's desperate journey through the storm suddenly took on a whole new meaning. Sarah, still at her dispatch desk, began piecing together more disturbing information. The Davidsons' landline was dead, and Mrs. Davidson's cell phone was going straight to voicemail. The last call from their house had been at 9:45 p.m., a call that had been disconnected before any conversation could take place. The snow was falling harder now, making visibility poor and road conditions treacherous. But Hero, secured in the back of the patrol car, remained alert and focused, his eyes fixed on the road ahead. Every time the car slowed or seemed to hesitate at an intersection, the puppy would bark insistently, as if guiding them along the correct route. What they found at the Davidson house seemed peaceful at first, a quiet home in the darkness of a winter night. But Hero's reaction told a different story. The moment Officer Morgan opened the patrol car door, the puppy bolted toward the house with surprising speed, despite his injured paw, scratching desperately at a side door they wouldn't have noticed immediately. The house was completely dark and unnaturally cold. The power outage had taken out not just the lights but also the heating system. Officer Morgan's flashlight beam caught Hero disappearing up the stairs, his urgent barks echoing through the silent house. The officers followed, their hearts pounding with each step. Emily's room was on the second floor, and the scene that greeted them confirmed their worst fears. The backup battery on her medical equipment was flashing red, nearly depleted. Emily lay unconscious in her bed, her breathing shallow, while her parents, exhausted from trying to find help, had succumbed to the cold in chairs beside her. The family's car was trapped in the garage, the electric door opener disabled by the power outage. Their phones were dead, and the nearest neighbor was over a mile away. In the chaos of trying to keep Emily's medical equipment running on backup power, they had been completely cut off from any means of calling for help. Hero had managed what the humans could not, finding help in a seemingly impossible situation. The puppy now stood guard by Emily's bed, his earlier frenzy replaced by a steady, watchful calm. His mission accomplished, he allowed himself to be examined by the paramedics who soon arrived, revealing that his injured paw had been cut by ice during his desperate journey. The gravity of the situation became clear as the medical team worked to stabilize Emily. The backup battery on her oxygen concentrator had less than 20 minutes of power remaining. Without Hero's timely intervention, the outcome would have been devastating. The puppy had quite literally raced against time, battling through a blizzard to save his young owner's life. The temperature in Emily's room had dropped to dangerous levels, and both her parents showed signs of hypothermia. As emergency responders worked to help the family, Hero refused to leave Emily's side, maintaining his vigilant watch even as his own injuries were tended to. His loyalty and determination had not only saved Emily, but her parents as well. The full scope of Hero's incredible journey would later be pieced together through security cameras across the city. He had traveled over 3 miles through the blizzard, navigating icy streets and deep snow, somehow knowing that the police station was his best hope for help. His path had been remarkably direct, as if guided by something beyond mere instinct. The Davidson family was rushed to Milwaukee General Hospital, with Hero being allowed to ride in the ambulance alongside Emily thanks to an empathetic paramedic who recognized the extraordinary bond between the puppy and his young owner. Through the wailing sirens and flashing lights, Hero maintained a remarkable composure, his eyes never leaving Emily's face, as if willing her to hold on just a little longer. The story of Hero's incredible rescue mission spread through the hospital like wildfire. Dr. Sarah Martinez, the pediatric specialist on duty, had seen many cases of extraordinary human resilience, but the tale of this small puppy's determination touched something deep in her professional heart. She made an unprecedented decision. Hero would be allowed to stay in the pediatric ICU. As Emily began to stabilize under professional care, her parents slowly recovered from their hypothermia in a nearby room. The hospital staff watched in amazement as Hero took up his post next to Emily's bed, refusing food or rest until she showed the first signs of consciousness. His devotion became a source of inspiration for everyone on the floor. The media caught wind of the story, and soon reporters gathered outside the hospital, eager to share the tale of the brave puppy who had saved an entire family. But inside Emily's room, Hero remained focused solely on his young owner, oblivious to his growing fame. His injured paw had been properly treated, yet he barely acknowledged the bandage. 24 hours after the rescue, Emily finally opened her eyes. The first thing she saw was Hero's face, his tail wagging gently as he watched over her. The moment was captured by a nurse's phone camera and would later become a symbol of hope and healing for countless people around the world. The reunion between Emily and Hero touched everyone who witnessed it. As weak as she was, Emily's first words were asking if her puppy was okay. When told of his brave journey through the blizzard to save her, she showed no surprise, just a knowing smile that suggested she had always understood how special her furry guardian angel was. Dr. Martinez began noticing something remarkable in Emily's recovery patterns. Her vital signs would strengthen whenever Hero was close, and her response to treatment improved significantly in his presence. What had started as a compassionate exception to hospital rules was evolving into something that would challenge traditional medical perspectives. The hospital's child psychology team began documenting the effects of Hero's presence on other young patients in the pediatric ward. Children who had been withdrawn or resistant to treatment would light up when Hero visited their rooms, leading to improved cooperation with medical procedures and faster recovery times. Research teams from several universities expressed interest in studying the unique bond between Emily and Hero, particularly how the puppy had known to seek help specifically from the police station. Some suggested it was pure instinct, others pointed to something deeper, a level of emotional intelligence that challenged our understanding of animal consciousness. The police officers who had responded to Hero's alert that night became regular visitors to Emily's hospital room. Officer Morgan, in particular, found himself deeply moved by the ongoing display of loyalty he witnessed. He began working with the hospital administration to develop a therapy dog program inspired by Hero's example. Local businesses and community members, touched by the story, started a fund to cover the Davidson family's medical expenses. The outpouring of support revealed how deeply Hero's act of courage had resonated with people, inspiring them to show their own capacity for kindness and generosity. Emily's doctors were amazed by her progress. The young girl who had been fighting leukemia with quiet determination now had a renewed spirit, drawing strength from her four-legged guardian's unwavering presence. Her recovery began to exceed all medical expectations, leading some to whisper about the healing power of love. Hero's story reached far beyond Milwaukee, touching hearts across the country and even internationally. Letters and gifts poured in from people who had been moved by the tale of the brave puppy who had defied all odds to save his family. Many shared their own stories of the extraordinary bonds they had experienced with their pets. The turning point in this story wasn't just about a dramatic rescue on a cold winter night. It was about the profound impact one small puppy's devotion could have on an entire community. Hero had not only saved Emily's life, he had sparked a movement that would change how people viewed the relationship between humans and their animal companions. As spring bloomed in Milwaukee, Emily's recovery continued to surpass all expectations. Her latest tests showed remarkable improvement, with her cancer markers dropping significantly. The medical team, while careful not to make premature declarations, couldn't help but note how Hero's constant presence seemed to correlate with her strengthening immune system and improving blood counts. The Davidson family home had been transformed by the community's generosity. Local electricians had installed a state-of-the-art backup power system, ensuring that Emily's medical equipment would never again be compromised by an outage. Neighbors who had once been strangers now regularly checked in, creating a support network that extended far beyond their immediate needs. Hero's injury had healed completely, leaving only a small scar as a reminder of his incredible journey. The puppy had grown into his role as both family protector and unofficial therapy dog for the entire pediatric ward. Every morning, after checking on Emily, he would make his rounds, visiting other young patients who eagerly awaited his arrival. The Milwaukee Police Department made Hero an honorary K-9 officer, complete with a tiny badge attached to his collar. The ceremony, covered by local news stations, showcased how one small puppy had bridged the gap between law enforcement and the community. Officer Morgan, who had been there that fateful night, gave a speech that left hardly a dry eye in the audience. Emily's doctors began incorporating Hero into their regular treatment protocols, noting how her vital signs improved dramatically during his presence. What started as an exception to hospital rules evolved into a groundbreaking study on the impact of animal companions in pediatric cancer treatment. Medical journals began publishing articles about the Hero effect. The bond between Emily and Hero deepened in ways that amazed even experienced animal behaviorists. The puppy seemed to know instinctively when Emily was having a difficult day, adjusting his behavior to provide exactly the kind of comfort she needed. On good days, he would play and romp. On harder days, he would simply lie quietly beside her, offering silent support. Dr. Martinez presented their case at several medical conferences, highlighting how Hero's presence had revolutionized their approach to pediatric care. The hospital's new therapy dog program, inspired by Hero, was showing remarkable results across all departments. Other hospitals began implementing similar programs, creating a ripple effect of healing. The Davidson family's story caught the attention of a major children's book publisher who worked with Emily to share her experience. The resulting book, My Hero Has Paws, became a bestseller, with proceeds going to support other families facing similar medical challenges. Emily's simple yet powerful narrative touched hearts worldwide. Hero's fame never affected his dedicated focus on Emily's well-being. Even as camera crews and reporters sought to document their story, the puppy remained steadfastly attentive to his primary mission, being there for his young friend. His unwavering loyalty became a symbol of pure, unconditional love. 6 months after that fateful night, Emily's doctors shared incredible news. Her cancer was in remission. While they couldn't scientifically prove Hero's role in her recovery, not a single person on her medical team doubted the significant impact her furry guardian angel had played in her healing journey. The South Milwaukee Police Department's annual community picnic became a celebration of Emily's recovery and Hero's bravery. Families brought their own pets, and local shelters hosted adoption events, inspired by the profound connection between a little girl and her determined puppy. The event highlighted how one act of courage could transform an entire community. Research universities began long-term studies on animal-assisted therapy, with Hero and Emily's case as their cornerstone example. The findings would go on to influence medical protocols and therapy programs worldwide, creating new understanding of the healing power of the human-animal bond. Emily returned to school in the fall, with Hero officially registered as her service dog. Their arrival each morning became a celebration of survival, hope, and the extraordinary power of love. Other students, inspired by their story, initiated programs to support local animal shelters and pediatric cancer research. The Milwaukee winter returned, but this time, the Davidson family faced it without fear. Their home was now equipped with every safety measure imaginable, and their community stood ready to help at a moment's notice. Hero, still vigilant but more relaxed, would sometimes pause at the window during snowfalls, perhaps remembering his desperate journey that changed so many lives. 1 year after Hero's remarkable rescue mission, Emily stood before a crowd at the Milwaukee Children's Hospital's annual fundraising gala. Now cancer-free, her voice strong and clear, she shared how one small puppy had not only saved her life but had transformed an entire community's understanding of love, courage, and determination. Hero sat faithfully by her side, his brown eyes watching her with the same devotion that had driven him through that winter storm. The impact of Hero's actions extended far beyond one family or one city. The therapy dog program he inspired had spread to hundreds of hospitals nationwide, bringing comfort and healing to countless children facing serious illnesses. Medical researchers continued to study the remarkable connection between patients and their animal companions, with Hero and Emily's case providing groundbreaking insights into the therapeutic power of the human-animal bond. The Davidson family home became a beacon of hope in their community, with Hero serving as a living reminder that miracles can come in the most unexpected forms. The puppy, who had once fought through a blizzard to save his family, now helped welcome other families facing similar challenges, offering silent comfort and unwavering support. His gentle presence reminded everyone that sometimes the greatest heroes walk on 4 legs. Emily's book series, inspired by her journey with Hero, reached children's hospitals worldwide, providing comfort and courage to young patients fighting their own battles. Each story carried a simple but powerful message. Love knows no boundaries, and true friendship can overcome any obstacle. The royalties from the books established a foundation helping families afford therapy dogs for children with serious illnesses. The security camera footage of Hero entering the police station that fateful night became a symbol of hope, played at schools and community events as a reminder that even the smallest among us can make an extraordinary difference. Officer Morgan, who had witnessed Hero's determination firsthand, often said that in his decades of police work, no case had affected him more deeply than the night a small puppy taught him about the true meaning of courage. Today, Hero continues his daily routine, watching over Emily, visiting young patients, and spreading joy wherever he goes. His story reminds us that in our darkest moments, help can come from the most unexpected sources, and that the purest form of love often comes with a wagging tail and 4 paws. For in the end, Hero proved that sometimes angels don't have wings. Sometimes they have golden fur, a brave heart, and an unwavering devotion that can light up the darkest night.